Hello everyone, and welcome to our next lesson. Today we're going to be talking about the dotted quarter notes. Now, you should be kind of familiar with what the dot does to a note. Remember, it's worth half of the original value. So if we take this half note that's at the top, right, and I'll just draw it out here. So we have a half note with a dot. The original value covering up the dot is worth 2, right, because we know a half note equals 2. This dot would be half of that, so 2 plus 1 equals 3. So we know the dotted half note equals 3. All right, now, if we're talking about a dotted quarter note, then we see a very similar thing, right? Or we can do a similar thing. So the quarter note itself is worth 1. This dot is worth half of that, so plus a half. So that means in all, a dotted quarter note equals 1 and 1/2. Now, something we see here, a dotted quarter note is usually followed by a eighth notes, right? And that's how we make up that other part of the measure. You see that up here, right? And that adds up to usually 2 total beats together. Now, I will clap and taw this for you. So I'm going to taw all of the notes that are here, and I'm going to clap a steady beat. Hopefully this doesn't sound bad on the recording, but maybe it'll help you understand. So here's the steady beat. If I were to taw, ta, 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 ta. Right, so the dotted quarter note gets almost 2 beats, but we have to know that usually we see that eighth note after, which makes up for any of the missing stuff. Right, it'd be similar for this. I'll do it too. We're in 3/4 for this one. Here's our beats. Ta, 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 ta. The big fault that I usually see with 3/4 is that people like to stop. They don't want to continue on after the bar because it just feels a little different. It's not as normal to us as 4/4 might feel. So we want to make sure that we keep playing through the rest of the measure. Right? Now, here we go. Time for the exercises. So once you can see these here, you should pause your video, go through them, and then we'll come and do them together. Okay, welcome back. So, write the beats under the following example, count and clap. Now, we're going to write them the way that I would have you write them in class. So, for this example here, the dotted quarter note would get 1-2. All right, 1-2, and then we get the and of this 2 on this eighth note. So, 1-2 and 3, 4. And we need 4 beats. We can tell that from the time signature, which says 4/4. All right, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Remember, we're adding these ands for the eighth notes. These quarter notes have eighth notes in them, but we're just not showing that subdivision. All right. Same as the beginning, 1-2 and 3, 4, and then 1 and 2 and 3-4. Now, all of these dashes show that there are multiple beats being accounted for, right? More than 1 beat for each of those. Question 2. Fill in the blanks using the correct number. All right, so how many dotted quarter notes add up to 3 eighth notes? And that would be 1. So one of these equals 3 of these. How many dotted quarter notes add up to 3 total beats? Right, we would be 2, right, because 1 and 1/2 plus 1 and 1/2 equals 3. That was a little tricky. How many dotted quarter notes add up to 1.5? One of those. Right. So same thing, right? If we tie the notes together, sorry, you couldn't see it on the camera there. If you tie the notes together, quarter note plus an eighth note, right? You add the values together. Okay, question 3 says to add bar lines to the example below. We have to look first at the time signature. It says 3/4 for this line, so we need 3 beats per measure. 1.5, 2, 3, so we need a bar line here. 1, 2, 3, bar line. 1, 2, 3, bar line. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then a double bar at the end. Okay, next one is 4/4 times, so we need 4 beats per measure. 1, 2, 3, this is 4. 1, 2, here's 2 total. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, question 4. Complete the measures using only one note or rest, alternate notes and rests. So we'll go note, rest, and so forth. Okay, using only one note in the first one. So we have 4/4 time signature, means we need 4 beats per measure. 1, 2, and a half. So we need one thing that adds up to 1 1/2. That would be our dotted quarter notes. Okay, so we have 1 1/2, 2, 3, right? So 3 1/2 total. It means we need an 1/8 rest to fill in that space. We need a note that adds up to 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. This adds up to 2 total, so we need a rest that's worth 2, so it would be a half rest. That goes up. 1, 2, 3, so we need a note that equals 1, quarter note. 1, 2, 3, so we need a rest that equals 1, quarter rest. 1, 2, half, half, so that adds 2 total, so we need a rest that equals 2, so that's half rest. Alright, 1 1/2, 2, 3 1/2, so we need an 1/8 rest here. Alright, let me know if you have questions. Have a great day.